let's analyze this. So, Inside the Ropes recently did an interview with Triple H, and they asked him about certain parts of NXT stars, NXT wrestlers getting called up to the main roster. Little things, little parts, little intricacies in certain complications and situations that come along with them getting called up to the main roster. So let's see what they have to say.
Hey everybody, we're back here and we're here with the man of many hats, Greenwich Blue Blood, beloved degenerate, King of Kings,
I don't have a hat
assassin.
like that. But...
I know. Well, this is more laziness of not having to gel the hair and all that. So
Triple H can be real corny sometimes, I swear. No, he's an all-time great though. Arguably my top 20, maybe 30 of wrestlers all time.
Here, launch of the UK Performance Centre, very big deal. And I'm here to ask some questions that I think people are intrigued by. So with NXT UK as a brand, we now have this facility here. For you guys, what's the kind of tiered system, or the way that if somebody's in NXT UK, would they automatically go to NXT one day, or maybe just go straight to the main roster, or is it kind of see what happens person by person?
I think it depends. I think it depends on the talent. I think there are some talent here that, you might see come from the UK that might move straight to Raw, to SmackDown. I think right now there's this.
Can we talk about how mushy Kratos' head looks for real right now? Like, what the fuck, man? I know a lot of those scars, at least from his forehead or from the chair shots that he used to take back in the day. Because Triple H used to take a lot of chair shots to the head. But the biggest question is not NXT UK stars getting called up to the main roster or the main NXT. The real question is why haven't they made a movie? Why haven't they made the God of War, the movie, with Kratos starring Triple H playing Kratos? I mean, I know Triple H doesn't have that much of a successful movie career, but give the guy another chance. He really looks like Kratos.
Sort of kind of perceived system where it's like Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and then, NXT UK or whatever. I don't believe that. I believe that talent are talent, and I believe they'll sit where they sit. I believe you'll see talent over the next few years start coming up the runs.
Is it me, or is Triple H getting skinnier? He almost looks anorexic. What the fuck? Damn. I explained the mushy part of his forehead, but I can't explain the mushy part of the back of his head. That, I don't know what the fuck that is, but does he look skinnier? Now, I know he tore, his pectoral muscle, and when you tear a muscle like that, it, it stops you from working out. It prohibits you from being able to work out. So I guess that could be a legitimate explanation for it.
SmackDown, and I think you'll see them move back over into NXT or come back into the NXT UK system. I think talent will begin to evolve and rotate through territories, so to speak. And as this expands out to the rest of the globe, as you see this happening in the Middle East or India, or
we are going to take over the professional wrestling world. I mean, the sports entertainment world. Just tell it like it is, man. Tell it like it is, Triple H.
Japan or South America, you will begin to.
We're gonna have NXT Japan, and NXT Africa, and NXT Somalia, and NXT Canada, and NXT Mexico. All right, let me stop. Let me stop. Let's be serious right now. Serious face.
See that system take place where talent can evolve. I think there will be some talent that will become incredibly successful, will be global names, will be global household names that will probably never leave sort of the NXT system because that's their home base and it's where they fit. And they'll have incredibly successful, meaningful careers, and probably over those careers.
That's code word for I'm not going to let Vince screw up the rest of my talent anymore. Fuck that shit. We're done with that. I'm not letting him screw up my talent anymore. I'm not letting him destroy my babies. Triple H is like a proud papa. So much so that, you know, he has more than the kids that he has at home. You know, NXT kids are his kids, even though most of them are in their 30s, damn near pushing 40.
They'll gravitate through different locations within the globe, maybe without never being on Raw or SmackDown, but that not being any lesser to their careers, you know.
And I wanted to get your take on this. So obviously there's been call-ups from NXT for years now. Because you're in NXT with all these guys and girls, and then they go up to the main roster, or go to the main roster. I'm going to stop saying up. Go to the main roster.
I think even main roster to me is funny. It's either to Raw or SmackDown, you know.
Have you not figured out, but what is your kind of strategy of if somebody's in NXT?
I mean, come on now. Raw and SmackDown, that's still the main roster, man. We cannot discredit that. That's still a main roster. In order to be at WrestleMania, in order to be the world champion in the WWE, you have to be on either Raw or SmackDown. You can't be on NXT or NXT UK and expect the headline WrestleMania. That's not how it works. So until they do some shit like that, where an NXT guy or girl could headline WrestleMania or win a, WWE main roster title, then it's still going to be separation of powers. It's still going to be the same. It's still going to be, you got Raw, SmackDown as the main roster, then you got NXT and NXT UK as the developmental system. It's always going to be looked at like that unless they do what I just said they do, which they will never do.
They're an NXT champion, and then they go to Raw or SmackDown. Do you think it's better to continue a character and kind of continue the run like that, or is it more of a fresh start because it's a different audience you kind of get to? Where do you guys sit on that?
So again, I think it depends on the talent and the moment. And I think it's no different than it was if you go back 30, 40 years into the territory system in the U.S. No different. You left one place, you went someplace else. Sometimes you reinvented because you thought, what I'm doing is good, but here I want to do something different. I want to make it something more. And you reinvent and you become something different. Others, it's continuation of the same. Some, there are some talent that I see even in the system. Talent like Elias, that to me was the perfect fit on Raw or SmackDown from an entertainment standpoint. Everybody else was a little bit of a square peg in a round hole in NXT.
Only because when Elias was in NXT, they just had too many talent. There's no other way of explaining it. They had too many talent. They had too many talented guys on the NXT roster when Elias was there that were just overall better than Elias. So of course he was going to get lost in the shuffle down in NXT. Of course.
Times, right? Like he had all the skill set for the main roster and for that grouping. I even do it, see? But different than it was for NXT, right? There's differences to the brands. Differences to what people are looking for from those brands. You're going to see those things transfer. Raw's a 3-hour show. There's a lot of different components to that. You need the incredible...
When is it going to not be 3 hours anymore? Probably when Triple H takes over. Who knows? I don't know.
Athleticism to put on the spectacle matches. You need the characters to be able to carry the entertainment components of the show that general fans like, right? You need a lot of different things. So some people are suited for one or the other. Some people will succeed in one or the other. Some people will move to one, do moderately well there, move to another, and become the biggest thing you've ever seen, right? I think that's going to be the character and the movement, and I don't think that success or failure is just in that moment. I think it's long term. When you look at the arc of somebody's 20-year career, where they went and the success rates they had in all these places they went to is really where it becomes. Some will become franchise players in those particular brands and that's the places they'll stay. Others will float around and become the person that kind of succeeds everywhere, you know.
Well, that was Triple H being interviewed by Inside the Ropes, giving his perspective on the dichotomy and the dynamic between what it is to be in NXT or NXT UK and what it is to be on Raw or SmackDown. This was very interesting. Not too interesting. He hasn't said something that he hasn't said anything that hasn't been reiterated from other people before. I've heard plenty of other people reiterate the same stuff. But Triple H in a nutshell said that he does not want Vince fucking up his talent anymore. So if he has to keep them on lock in terms of NXT or NXT UK, he will do so. But this was interesting. I'm out.